You hold my every moment. You calm my raging seas. You walk with me through fire and heal all my disease.
I knew church is where I wanted to be, but at the time I didn't feel comfortable. It was like taking medicine. I knew it was good for me, but it just didn't taste good. And when I first came to Living Waters, I just felt comfortable. I just felt like this is where I need to be. And it's the first song I heard was Jesus is Just Alright for me, and it was I had the album, a Doobie Brothers album, and I said, wow, this is where I should be, you know, and I just felt comfortable from that point on, and I decided this is what I need, you know. I guess it started out, everything started in my late 20s. I was cross addicted, and I stopped that, and I realized that I had a mood disorder, and you can call it bipolar, manic depressive, and I don't know how many other names they got for it, but that's the two common ones, and I was that, and I was treated with lithium, and they over-treated me with it, and I had a lithium toxicity, and actually burned holes in my kidneys, and that was, ooh boy, I guess almost 30 years ago, I guess. Wow, 78, 79, right around there, and it just, I realized then it was going to be a matter of time till I got on dialysis. I was tested and I was taken off the drug, but it wasn't soon enough. It was still did damage to my kidneys, and the way it was explained to me, your kidneys are like oil filters, and once there's holes in the oil filters and the oil keeps going through, it just continuously damages them. They don't repair themselves, so it was just a matter of time when. So, well, in that process, I gained 100 pounds and lost 90 pounds, and I built my body up and my mind up, and it just all changed overnight. It was like, seemed like overnight. It was within about a 2-week period that once I realized that I had to take dialysis, that's 5 years ago, I realized then, well, within the 2-week period, I went to working out 5 days a week and lifting weights, and really good physically shape, and fairly good mental shape, and that it just all changed. It changed from that to being bedridden 12 hours a day, and doing dialysis 12 hours a day, and being on I guess about 20-pound weight restriction, and it's a blow to your ego and your system that when you were strong, and then you had I couldn't even change a water bottle on a water machine. I couldn't even change spring water. It was too heavy. So it's a humbling situation that you have to depend upon other people to do things that you once could do, and at that period I was extremely depressed, being bedridden 12 hours a day, and even still going to church, I was still just about suicidal, and that And then I ran into it. God places you in situations. I go rent 2 movies every day to watch in the evening when I was doing dialysis, and I ran into a young guy, and he was wheelchair bound, and he was, I guess, in his 30s, and he was telling me, he was so happy, he was telling me how good he had it. I'm thinking, oh man, this is a young guy and he's paralyzed from his waist down, and he's telling me, man, how good he got it, and I'm here crying the blues because I got to be in bed 12 hours a day, and it was just a snap to reality, you know. It was, well, from that I had 3 operations on my arm. The first operation was for a fistula. Then they had to tie off the arteries and the veins in my arm. And then they said, well, I don't think this is going to work because you got deep veins. They actually had to cut my arm open down and pull a vein up, pull the vein and artery, the fistula up to the, I don't know how they did it, but they raised it up closer to the surface so it made it more accessible. So after 3 operations, then I was able to use my arm, which within the 2-week span again, I got an infection in my catheter, and then that was the first time I ended up in the hospital with a blood infection. But the next day is they actually discharged me from dialysis that morning, and that was a very unusual thing. They tested me and it wasn't in my organs then, but the infection spread into my organs after that, and that's when I went back in and intensive care. That's when and I was there I guess a day, and then they transferred me to a regular room. Well, I kicked and whined about that. I wanted a private room, and my doctor said, well, there's no medical reason for you to have a private room, and so he put me in a regular room, and then that was all God's plan again, because he stuck me in a room with I say a young guy, but 46, and he was an active addict also, and he was in there from side effects of his addiction, and was actually, I would say, drinking himself to death. That's 2 times in a year, and in extreme pain and everything, and I was able to talk to him about it, and I actually asked if I could pray for him that night, and I did, and I prayed for healing. I prayed for healing for his addiction, and and peace, and just his situation, and that he would be healed of his addiction, and I hope it touched him. That's all I can do is say I hope it did. So many things that I'm able to do now through the grace of God that I didn't think I was going to be able to do. And everyone can do it. Everyone says, well, I don't know if I could do that. You're not there yet to be tested to see if you have to or not. But 90% of the time you can.